The first solo is something every pilot remembers. This is a monumental milestone in any pilot's career. However, it may not seem like much, but it is ever so important to the entirety of a student pilot's flight training. This is the first time you are all by yourself in the aircraft. Your instructor is not there to correct minor things or to tell you that you've missed something. You are in charge, you carry that responsibility, you are the pilot in command. So today was my first solo. I found myself in Foxtrot Juliet Yankee Sierra, which is a DA-20. And how solos work, in my instance anyway, we go up with the instructor for 3 or 4 circuits, and then we land. He opts out, I ramp out from dispatch and taxi to the runway, take off, do 1 circuit, land, come back. So it's a very simple process. Now, there was today was very particular. The day I soloed, the weather was very hit or miss. My flight was scheduled at 8:45 in the morning, but I ended up going a little bit earlier. The winds were supposed to pick up by that time, so my instructor made the smart decision to give me a call and telling me to come in a little bit earlier so we could actually solo. At this point, I've been waiting probably about a week there to solo because of weather and, of course, Mother Nature usually doesn't cooperate if we need something. So, gave me a call, came in early, and the weather was looking pretty sketchy. As you can probably tell there from the first circuit, the ceiling was pretty low at circuit altitude, so we just barely managed to scrape by at circuit altitude. Actually, when I did my solo, the ceiling lowered even further. We'll see that there. But the winds were blowing right down runway 24 at 10 knots. At one point, they were at 15 knots. So basically, I was on my limits for what I could legally, quote unquote, do according to the Moncton Flight College FTOM. But that just makes things a lot more interesting when we come to flying. So here we are on approach on our first circuit. We do 1 more after that, but I'll skip the next one, and then I'll go right to my solo. So enjoy this pretty good landing, if I do say so myself. However, experienced pilots may have other opinions, but enjoy this, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, quick little disclaimer. What you're about to see next is the diamond being a pain in the ass. This wasn't my fault. This was the diamond being a piece of work. After that shenanigans, I managed to get my engine turned on and did my run up, taxied it to the runway, and I was cleared to take off. Now, It's important to note when I was taxiing, I was informed by Tower that there was a new ATIS that came out, new weather, and it was indicating a low ceiling between 900 and 1,000 feet. So this is where I got to practice my pilot decision making right on my first solo as PIC, because obviously my instructor wasn't there with me, so I had to make the call. Now, I evaluated the situation, and I evaluated the ceiling, and I evaluated all my options. So one option was to turn back and wait it out. I had already saw in the METAR and in the TAF that the winds were going to pick up, so there would have been no way I would have been going after this time slot. So I decided to go, and I decided to keep the circuit low, below the clouds, obviously. So you'll see as we turn base and downwind, I'll probably be about, let's say, 100 feet from the cloud. So I'm around 950 to 1,000 feet. So the clouds are basically right at circuit altitude. Obviously, I don't want to fly in them. I'm VFR. I am not IFR certified yet. The big thing is yet, because I will be. But at the time of my solo, I am not IFR. And that was definitely drilled into my head by Oliver, and he wanted to make sure that I got that idea. So anyway, we'll just enjoy the circuit, and we'll come back on final. Alright, so here we are in final. Now, a couple of you may be wondering why I approach so high. Now, the thing is, runway 24, which is the runway I'm landing on, is extremely long. So we aim for taxiway Foxtrot, which is coming up to our right now. That's our aiming point, and then we exit at Delta, which is further down to the left. Obviously, if we touch down at the 1,000-foot marker, we would be taxiing for like 5 minutes getting off the runway. So that's why we do this. So here's the landing here. So the landing was okay. I did a pretty good job tracking the center line, but I left the power on a little bit too long, so I was a little bit fast touching down and a little bit hard. But other than that, it was pretty good landing. It was a good circuit. It was low, so it looked really fast, but obviously that's the altitude I literally had to stay at to maintain law. So it was a very, very nice flight at the whole point two of it. I definitely like to thank Oliver, my instructor, for showing me everything on flying this diamond. Without him, there's no way I'd be soloing. Obviously, massive thank you to him. And then also my parents, who drove up from Halifax twice to come see me solo. I didn't end up going solo yesterday, which was the day before. This was filmed on a Sunday. I was supposed to go on Saturday, but the winds were not in my favor, so they drove up twice. But what can you do? Mother Nature. We're at the mercy of Mother Nature here in the aviation industry. It was very, very cool. Soloing at the same place where my dad soloed back in 1960s. I don't know the exact year, but I'll get that to you. But I know it was really awesome. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna attach a video of me getting dunked, which I believe Oliver thoroughly enjoyed. To see me suffer in the cold water, like tap water, hose water, just freezing cold. So I'm gonna attach to that at the end there. But without further ado, guys, thank you for tuning in today. This is a massive step in my student pilot journey, in my aviation journey as a whole. Next video is going to be precautionary landings and precautionary landings at uncontrolled airports. So stay tuned for that. Definitely going to be doing a debrief on that. That's a very huge subject. So yeah, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.
3, 2, 1. Go nice and slow.
Oh my God!
Gotta make sure you remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not done.
Oh, you're evil. Oh my God.
Here's bucket number 1. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.